You are about to experience an awesome Facebook advertising course. How would you feel with results like this? 1,500 likes for just $1. How would you feel with ridiculous amounts of people engaging with your posts? 629 maybe for just $1 in ad spend. I will show you how to do this anywhere in the world with whatever countries or page types you want to use. You will be able to see how to get your cost per lead and conversion down low to increase sales. You will see how to find the worst campaigns you've ever ran and delete them and get rid of them so they don't waste your money. I will show you how to get the ideal return, both combining leads and conversions. You can see how to get 500 million ads shown like I did, and millions of clicks at 1 cent each. What are you going to do with this awesome information? Are you going to make a huge Facebook page like I did? Are you going to promote a squeeze page so you can grab more leads and clients like I have? Will you send people to your website and try and grab email addresses and engagement? I will even show you where to go when you run out of ideas or need a discussion on some forums, or when you want another 10.5 million videos on Facebook advertising training. The best part is all of this is current, 2014. The information's fresh. Thank you so much for taking a look at my course. You are going to feel awesome when you get a hold of this information I have to share with you, and I can't wait to see what you think of my course. When you're ready to create your Facebook page, here's how you do it. You go to facebook.com/pages/create, and then you pick a type of page you want to create. You can create a page for a business, company, brand, artist, entertainment, or more. If you're a local business, it's best to do the local business option. It's very easy to make your page too. You just click here, say you're a doctor, you enter your business name, my doctor, your street address, my address, you enter your state, my state. Well, I'll put my real state here. Sarasota, Florida. Zip code 34236, your phone number. And then you have to agree to the Facebook page's terms. And then you click Get Started. Once you click Get Started, you'll be able to go to your page and edit your page. Your edit page options will look like this. So you can click on Edit Page, you can update page info, and then you can edit all of these individual settings inside your page info. You can also edit individual settings such as post visibility, posting ability, and some of these options are pretty useful if you know what they do. So you can add or remove the ability for people to post to your page. You can add or remove the ability, and I found a great box. This is checked by default, but I unchecked this so I don't have the recent posts at the top of my page timeline anymore. You can turn notifications off, especially when you have a bigger page. You don't want to get blown up by notifications all the time. The tagging ability for photos is important because people may tag your page with all kinds of crazy things. And you can put additional options down here. Your page info is critically important, and especially the short description. The short description is what appears in the little box. I'll take you back. The short description is what appears in this little box right here. And this little box is all that most people will see when they're looking at your Facebook page timeline. So you really want to get that little box right. You can see there's not a lot of characters you have to work with. But this displays on both mobile and on the desktop in a similar manner. So you see, you can click straight to my website or my YouTube this way, and that's why I have that there. That's what I want. All these other options you can set appear in the About box. And as you continue to add more to your page, you will get things like photos and more likes, and you can put apps in. And I'll show you how to do that in additional lectures in this section. Welcome to the Facebook Pages Manager. I can show you a couple of quick shortcuts and helpful tips here that'll make sense of the Facebook Pages interface. So if you start from the Facebook logo, you can scroll down on the left, you can see my main page and my other pages. A few of them are listed up here. These are in the favorite pages. Now if I see all the pages here and I click on more, you can see I've got, a whole lot of pages that I'm an admin on. Well, how do I make sense and keep these in some order? If you see on this page is a favorite, this page is a favorite, this page is not a favorite. So if I want to bump one of my, God knows how many pages I've got, into the few pages that I can easily access, on this I just added the page to favorites and now it's right there. First step, obviously, is to make your page easy to get to. You can, of course, bookmark it, but if you have lots of your own pages you manage, it's helpful to use the favorites instead. Once you have the favorites down, this is the page interface from the admin point of view. You have the edit page options up here, update page info, edit settings, manage admin roles. If you want to add or remove people as an admin, this is a key page to use. You can use your activity log to see what's happened lately, see banned users, or use Facebook as ban work. Although I'm already doing that up here, but my profile you can see is Jerry. If I want to switch and be my page on Facebook, then you can see it signs out my personal page and makes me into the page itself. This is helpful when you just want to focus on using your page and nothing else, but I prefer to work within my profile. So you see I went back to home and then I click ban work to get back to my page. Now the key thing on your page is the page insights. You can see your insights from whatever time period you want. At least some of the options give you that. So I can scroll down here and see how many people saw my posts, what kind of engagement I got on my posts. I can see my post reach, it's up 6.5% from the last week. Oh, that's my page reach. And then my post reach right here is how many people saw my actual posts. You can see your engagement and your page likes, and you can dig into more detail on any of these tabs. And here's where you can customize how far back it goes. So if you see I'm getting a few hundred paid likes every day, I'm getting anywhere from 50 or so free likes every day, and then I'm getting anywhere from like 20 to 50 unlikes every day. You can see my ads come mostly from ads and sponsored stories, but you can see more details too of where you get your likes from. And if you want to go back and get more history, you can use this tab and go back and see your data farther back. And then you can go even farther back like this and see your data. You can see I did a very intense ad campaign right here where I'm getting as many as 20,000 likes a day off of paid ads and thousands of organic likes from being featured in those ads too. You can track page likes here. And if you want to look at your page reach, this helps you see how many people saw your posts. You can see how people engaged with your posts. You can see I had a lot of likes and shares on some of those days and consistent likes on these days. You can see I got some unlikes as a result of seeing my posts in the news feed also. And then you can see the result of my large ad campaign where millions of people saw my page each day, to now thousands, close to 100,000 see my posts each day on a very moderate budget. Your total page visits shows you how people interact with your page. You can see timeline visits anywhere on mine from a few thousand to a few hundred a day. In other page activity, posts by people on page, etc. And the external referrals is a great tool to see what other websites are getting people to come to your Facebook page. The Warrior Forum and Twitter are great ones for me. If you want to dive deeper in your post analytics, you can take a look at all of your post analytics right here. And you can scroll down and see in detail what kind of engagement you got on your recent posts. And you can see on your people who likes your page. You can see I have a huge English following from all over the world. And you can continue to scroll down and see how many countries you have fans from. I don't even have a count, but I've got fans from quite a few countries. 299's as big as it stops at. If you export data, you can export into an Excel spreadsheet and look a lot farther at it. Well, I hope this has been helpful in understanding how your Facebook page works on a basic level and how you can look deeper into your analytics on it. If you're ready to see how to make an awesome squeeze page for your Facebook page or for your website using lead pages, get ready. Here it is. Leadpages.com. As simple as that. You go to leadpages.com, you make an account. And now I'm going to show you my lead page I have. My lead page is right here. You can use your lead page to easily pop in a squeeze page on your Facebook page. It's awesome. And you can simply use it on your website too. It's really easy if you have WordPress to just add a page in and bam, your lead page is right there. It can't be any easier. You go to lead pages, make an account, and then you start building your lead page. So you see I've got my settings on the left side, and then I've got my material on the right side, along with my options up on the top. I can save, publish, or analyze the lead page I have. So you can see when I click on jerrybanfield.com, I have header links up here. I have my options in here. It's a pre-made setup to use, and it's really simple. YouTube video iframe code right there. You've got your title text, and I chose this one out of a gallery of sales pages I liked, but you can choose whatever format you want. There's great formats for webinars and anything else, and the customization is just sweet on it. Whatever the default button was here, I didn't like it. It was easy for me to add my own PayPal icon right there because that's what I wanted. I kept these other images that came with it because they looked good enough. I changed the text to go exactly where I wanted. And I even was able to put some images in copied directly from a forum post I made here. You can see this lead page is just great, but that's the tip of the iceberg. Now watch what happens when I take you back to my Facebook page. Here's my Facebook page, and now I go to my squeeze page. Look at that. Now my squeeze page is integrated right into my Facebook page on an app. If I scroll up the screen a little bit here, you can see I have an app link right here on Facebook.com. I've got my exact lead page you just saw integrated, and it even has my Facebook page connected with the amount of likes, and it has my comments below that match with my Facebook page. How cool is that? The squeeze page options offered by Leadpages are just awesome. And if you want to see even more, I'll show you on my website. Look at this. The same squeeze page is on my website with WordPress the exact same way. So all you need is to make this one squeeze page, and you've got everything you need. You will want to test different formats, obviously, and at some point I may add a lecture just on making the squeeze page. But to get your ads running best and to give you a squeeze page that works really well, you just go to leadpages.com. You can sign up and get yourself a lead page that works for you. Are you ready to see how to make an awesome Facebook page post? Here we go. There's two very different structures based on what you want to accomplish. I'm going to show you first mine, which is more of a business or lead conversion kind of structure. You can see in this post I've made, I have no pictures. I intentionally took the pictures out, and I have just links. The idea is I'm trying to minimize the, so to speak, junk clicks on my post. I want people that are genuinely interested in visiting my website or my video in order to get only clicks that matter to me. You can see I've got lots of likes on this post, and I got to share in a few comments. But I also got a lot of web traffic out of this post. It's structured in a very talking to my fan kind of way. You can see it asks for their advice. And I'll scroll down and show you some additional posts I made. Two more posts, same format. Learn how to make an awesome ad campaign with a Power Editor. Straight to my website. The majority of this post is for my website. If I scroll down far enough, you can see I got thousands of likes on this post too, on both of these. With the strategies I'll show you in the future of this course how to use for ads. These are great for lead conversion or web traffic or business exposure. If you're trying to do more of a strictly engagement or more of a fun kind of page, let's take a look at someone else who does a good job. George Takei does a great job with his page. I'll show you what he does. Here's a brand new post he made just a minute ago. You can see a little bit of maybe a gimmicky thing done here with playing Let's Play Tag a Friend, so to speak. He's encouraging his post. Well, he's not probably actually making the post, but whoever's doing his social media is encouraging people to share and tag this post. You can see it's working too. In just a minute, he's got thousands of people that like it with lots of shares and almost 1,000 comments. That's just within 2 minutes of the post. This format can work excellent for you if you want to get the same results. Now, promoting a post like this has got outstanding engagement, 145,000 likes, 51,000 shares, but a post like this may or may not actually work in Facebook ads. It's tricky matching up what works good to your fans with what will be allowed in an ad. This post has a lot of text in it. He's not likely paying to promote this post, so he can put whatever he wants in it. However, if you're trying to promote a post like this, you'll want to be aware of how much text you're using in the post. You can see this post worked really well. Down here's a different format, sharing a post of another page. You can see he actually got way more likes on the post than the original poster did on it. Down here you can see a bit different format with a Twitter link that also was successful. However, you can see a post here that compared to the rest of his page is completely a bomb. It's 14 hours ago. It only has 8,000 engagement on it. And I guess this Twitter post was comparable in engagement. The thing is, certain post types and messages just won't work well. And the more often you post, the more often your same amount of fans are getting grabbed for attention. So if you see he posted these two very close succession, he probably tied up his audience mutually on both of these posts versus some of these others that are posted a little more spaced out that are getting a lot more engagement. Especially this post here likely took potential engagement from these other two posts which weren't as successful. Still, you can see different formats to make your posts in, and you can see a post like this, if you just wanted to get affiliate traffic, might be great for you. If you want to add apps to your Facebook page, it's really pretty easy and it can be very useful. Let's take a look at what I mean. For example, on my page, there's the YouTube app. The YouTube app is really cool if you have a YouTube channel because you can pull your huge featured video here and then all of your recent videos down there. It makes it very easy to share your YouTube channel. You can add this app by searching in YouTube. You can see the other apps I have. The photos and the videos are default and the likes are default Facebook apps. But these two apps are custom apps I've added. You can edit an app at any time by clicking the edit button on the app after you've clicked this little arrow to open it when you're the page admin. You can swap the positions of the app like that, or you can remove the tab from the favorites or edit the settings, link to it, or uninstall it. I guess you would want to know how to install one first, right? What you can do is add a tab if Facebook already has one. For example, I can add an events tab on my page, but I don't have any events going on right now, so I'm going to remove this app. If I want to add new apps, I can find apps for pages is what you need. And say if you're a band, you could add the band profile app, or if you play Star Wars or use Pampers or any other things like that, you can add these apps to your page. Now that's one way to add the app to your page. You obviously have to click and go through all their settings and confirmation windows. I'll save your time on not doing that right now. If you want to add apps another way, you can use some kind of third-party integration. I will show you lead pages that I went over before. I have my lead pages here, and now all I have to do to put a lead page in Facebook is click Add to Facebook Page. I choose a Facebook page. For this one, I'll choose a backup page I have that I don't use much. And then I click Add Page tab. And bam, here's this page tab on another one of my Facebook pages. And you can see I can edit the name on it if I want to. Custom tab name, Hire Us. And now the name changes to Hire Us. And if, say, I get sick of this app, I can just uninstall app and there it's gone. So when you want to get some apps on your page, it can add great functionality and user experience to your page, and it's really quite easy to do. Time to learn Facebook conversion tracking. It's really easy once you do all the steps for it and bring up the pages you need. So I recommend bringing all the pages you need up at once. If you're using WordPress, you want to start by bringing up whatever page you need to put the conversion code on. I brought up my thanks page for email signups, so that's where I have the code. I brought up the text editor, and this is where I pasted the code in. The help manual gives a lot of good information about the conversion tracking. It tells you where to go and how to do it. So I did that. I went to the ads manager and I set up conversion tracking. I clicked create conversion pixel, and then I got my conversion code here. I copied this conversion code back over into the head section of my website. Now, when I first did this, I had to put a /head tag at the beginning of the code, and then I put another head tag at the end of the code, which ended right on the no script. So I put the head tag right here, and then the rest of what was already on my page continued there. So you can see when I go back to the text, it puts it in the head, and then I can update. And now I'll take a look at the actual page itself. And you can see I have a very simple thanks page. Thanks for joining my email list. But what you can't see is the Facebook conversion tracking code is in there. And now I can see the pixels active on the conversion tracking. I can see it's active, and that means in the past 24 hours, someone has looked, which was me, at the page with the conversion code on it. This means I can now create an ad and select this conversion tracking pixel and then optimize by conversions. If I wanted to do it again for a different objective, I just go to create conversion pixel, pick a category. For example, if I wanted to do it after my checkout page, I could say jerrybanfield.com checkouts. Create the pixel, and then I would do the same thing on the checkouts page. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I'll show you how to create and optimize and analyze campaigns by conversions in later lessons. Time to learn Facebook conversion tracking. It's really easy once you do all the steps for it and bring up the pages you need. So I recommend bringing all the pages you need up at once. If you're using WordPress, you want to start by bringing up whatever page you need to put the conversion code on. I brought up my thanks page for email signups, so that's where I have the code. I brought up the text editor, and this is where I pasted the code in. The help manual gives a lot of good information about the conversion tracking. It tells you where to go and how to do it. So I did that. I went to the ads manager and I set up conversion tracking. I clicked create conversion pixel, and then I got my conversion code here. I copied this conversion code back over into the head section of my website. Now, when I first did this, I had to put a /head tag at the beginning of the code, and then I put another head tag at the end of the code, which ended right on the no script. So I put the head tag right here, and then the rest of what was already on my page continued there. So you can see when I go back to the text, it puts it in the head, and then I can update. And now I'll take a look at the actual page itself. And you can see I have a very simple thanks page. Thanks for joining my email list. But what you can't see is the Facebook conversion tracking code is in there. And now I can see the pixels active on the conversion tracking. I can see it's active, and that means in the past 24 hours, someone has looked, which was me, at the page with the conversion code on it. This means I can now create an ad and select this conversion tracking pixel and then optimize by conversions. If I wanted to do it again for a different objective, I just go to Create Conversion Pixel, pick a category. For example, if I wanted to do it after my checkout page, I could say jerrybanfield.com checkouts. Create the pixel, and then I would do the same thing on the checkouts page. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I'll show you how to create and optimize and analyze campaigns by conversions in later lessons. You have the information you need to basically understand the Facebook page and how to get a good user experience. Let's look now and show what exactly all of it can look like and feel like when it comes together. You want your page to be more like a laser than a funnel. You want your page to appeal and be perfect for the exact right person. All of the people it's not right for don't matter. If you're running ads and getting lots of traffic, the only people you want your user experience to be perfect for are the ones that are going to convert. This means you need to know what the people that are going to convert care about. One thing a lot of people care about is how many likes you have and how much engagement your page has. People tend to care a lot about that because when your page has a lot of likes and a lot of engagement, it shows you're established. It shows you're a business or a page they can trust. Once you have been established, people are a lot more likely to look and visit and interact more seriously with your content. If you see a page that is new, it is not as likely to inspire trust. And this is a big thing. Even if you're using a squeeze page, let's look at my squeeze page and see how people are actually going to interact with that. You can see here on my squeeze page, and I'll zoom in for you a little bit. When people land here, one of the first things they notice is how many likes I have. But also, the power users I'm looking for that may actually do business may not even take the time to read hardly anything. They may go directly to my website or my contact page. Or what I've often done when I see squeeze pages, I go straight to the main Facebook page. You spent all this effort on your squeeze page, and now the power user, the perfect person you're looking for, is judging you based on your Facebook page. I've set my whole page up to appeal to my ideal client. My ideal client, and how do I know this? I've gotten this feedback consistently from the clients I have. They said, I liked how many page likes you have. Ironically, I've only had a couple of clients with more page likes than me. It seems that something like page likes kind of sets the barometer for what you can potentially deliver for them. If you're doing online advertising or digital marketing, you will want to build your page likes and also your page engagement. I got so much feedback after I boosted my likes up that my page engagement wasn't good. I've taken the time now. I always build ad campaigns for the posts I make, and you can see even though my posts don't always look exciting, they do always have hundreds of people engaging on them. And I'll show you how to make those ad campaigns. A lot of people also look straight at my YouTube content because they feel like they can see through or learn a lot more about me by watching the content I posted on YouTube. You can see I've got a 2-hour video, a complete Facebook advertising training video on my front page of my YouTube app. You can see I've designed the whole page to maximize my user interface for the power user, because the power users tend to go click on everything. They will go through and click on my website, or they'll go click on my YouTube channel, or they'll do all of that. They'll go read 5 or 10 different posts. They'll scroll all the way down to the very bottom of my posts. and make judgments on my page based on things I posted months ago. Knowing this about your power users can help you figure out what you should focus on your page. This means if you have one or two good squeeze pages, you maybe don't need to spend forever optimizing your squeeze page if you're just using it on a Facebook page. You might want to take the time to make sure your page itself looks good. And speaking of which, I could probably use an updated cover photo. The thing is, you want to have the ideal user experience everywhere the power user is likely to look on your page. If you want to get an idea of what a power user will do, ask one of your friends or family who's invested in what you're doing to take a look at your page and ask them for their honest impressions about it. Now that you have an idea of what kind of points you should pay attention to in the user experience on your page, it's time to create ads with that experience in mind. If you're ready to get to know the Ads Manager, I'm going to show you where it is. To get started, you go to the Facebook.com main page, and you go over on the left side to the Ads Manager link. You click the Ads Manager link, and it takes you to your ads. All of these are your campaigns in the Ads Manager. You can see how much you're spending each day. You can see I'm taking it easy for the moment on my daily ad spend in this Facebook ad account, at least. You can see a few hundred campaigns made. You see the option to create an ad right here. You can see the account. If I click down on here, I have lots of different accounts I can look at. You can see the reports. If you click reports, this is a key tab because you can deeply analyze the results you're getting. And I'm going to go into more detail later about how to pick the right reports to run to maximize your return on investment. Your settings tab shows you key details you've given Facebook. Your billing tab will show you ways you're paying Facebook. Your conversion tracking shows your current pixels you have that will allow you to track conversions. The Power Editor link right here gives you access to the Power Editor tool, which lets you edit, copy, and manage a bunch of campaigns at a time. I'll go into the Power Editor in detail because it's a very helpful tool for getting a lot of work done in a short period of time. And also, it can make you want to poke your eyes out if you try and use it too much. So a healthy balance of the Ads Manager and the Power Editor will give you the ideal return. You can learn more on links here. You can search your ads. And back here in the campaign and ads again is your most important interface. You can see all of the ad campaigns you're running. The little green button means the ads are active. These buttons mean they're paused. You can see full reports for more information. You can sort by any of these columns, which if you're running a lot of campaigns becomes very important. Again, to get to the Ads Manager, you can go to the logo, to the home page to start, and go to the Ads Manager right here, and you're here. And you create an ad by clicking this green button. Simple stuff, but it helps to know where you're at. If you're ready to take a look at the Ads Manager basic functions for creating an ad, let's do that now. Step 1, you click Create an Ad. Step 2, if you want to make a Add to Website, you click Add Website. If you want to do page post engagement, you do page post engagement. You pick a page, and then you type the post you want to promote. If you want to do website conversions, you pick a URL you want to do, and then you have to pick a conversion pixel that you've already made active in a previous step. If you have more than one, you can pick more than one. If you want to do app installs, you have to pick the app and then put in the details for the app. The same thing goes for app engagement. App engagement's great if you already have people using your app and you want to get them back to it. Event responses are a very powerful ad that you can use if you want to get people to an event. So say I want to pack people at this event, I click event responses, and the event itself will be promoted. If you pick the wrong type, you can't go back and repick it again very easily. So, Ads Manager, back to create an ad. You can also make offer claims. If you have an offer, you can pick an offer to promote. If you haven't made one yet, then you have to go and create a new offer here, and then you can put this post on the page and promote it all at once. So these are the basic details of how you use the Ads Manager to pick a type of ad you want to create. Now I'll quickly go through and show you the rest of the features that pop up. Images. You can put up to 6 images per ad unit. You can upload them, use images you already have. You can also reposition images to show in the newsfeed or in the right column based on what position they're in. The headline for your ad is shown differently on the right column versus the newsfeed. So if I put Bandwork headline here, you can see it's not shown on the newsfeed, but on the right column it shows up underneath the page title. The text shows up here on the right column, and on the newsfeed the text is featured here. If you check sponsored stories, it'll make an automatic post to show to people's friends. You can choose a landing view. If you're using a squeeze page, the landing view is critical. You have to put in your squeeze page. You can also place the ads in the newsfeed and or the right column specifically right here. The audience section allows you to choose countries. You can put multiple countries, and you can target by state, province, city, or zip code. You can choose ages. You can choose genders, and you can choose languages. I generally put English on my languages consistently regardless of where I'm targeting. You can also choose other demographics such as relationship status, education level, school year, workplaces, or more. You can then use the more specific interests such as business and industry, or much more specific interests such as, well, I guess you can't type your own page name in. You can type in very specific pages in. Say, I'll do George Takei. You can type his page in, and then you can target people both interested in business and George Takei. If I just take George Takei off, there's 5 million people in the US. Connections, you can target people not connected to your page already, or you can target people that are connected and aren't connected, or you can do more advanced options. You can choose categories on top of your interests, and then here's your campaign name, your daily budget. You can either run it continuously or set a start and an end date, and then your bid options are down here. You can bid for page likes, clicks, or impressions. When you're ready to grab images for your Facebook ads campaign, I'm going to show you how to do it quick and to get the best quality images without having to worry about any copyright problems. Here's how you do it. I use photospin.com. So you want to see the URL, I suppose. Let me pull the camera up here. Photospin.com. Photospin has royalty-free stock photos, illustrations, and more. I got myself a yearly plan on Photospin, so I get all of my stock photos from Photospin for my ad campaigns. You can obviously use any other stock photo website you want, or you can use Google Images or your own images you have designed. I would use images you've designed or stock photos, though. I would not use Google Images or never any images from another Facebook page. The reason is you can get your page banned. You can get banned from the Ads Manager there are just bad consequences when you potentially use copyrighted images. Google Images, you want to avoid that. I see lots of advertisers doing it. You want to avoid it. Assuming now you want to use stock photos, PhotoSpin, I'll show you how to do it. Say I want a thank you photo to advertise. I scroll down, I look for thank you photos, find one I like. Here's one I like. I click on it. I grab the photo with download. Once I've downloaded that photo, I go back to advertise on Facebook, and then I hit upload image. Now, my images aren't in there, but I've picked my image file, and if I had downloaded that, it would be with my images. Instead, I have other photos I've used on previous ad campaigns. For example, I'll put this basketball up here. And now this basketball will load in to my images in my ad campaigns. When I scroll down and look at my ads, you can see the basketballs popped up here in the news feed as a potential ad. And then in the right column, it looks like this. Now, would I really want to use this image? Probably not. You can still crop an image like this to make it come out a little better. For example, it's still going to look the same in the right column, but in the newsfeed, you might prefer that if it was a basketball-related page. I can try another image that might make more sense for my exact business. You can see I've used all of these images on my previous ad campaigns before. So this is a small image, so it pops up like this in the newsfeed. I can reposition it in the newsfeed. Actually, I can't reposition this one because it's not big enough. So I'm stuck with it looking like this in the newsfeed. Say none of these images are very good. Now I want to pick another image. I'll pick these images because I like them. I'll upload these images. And now I remove those other images I had before. I can reposition my images here, and now I've got images, say, I like better. You can do this with up to 6 images at a time, and the key way to get more images than 6 is if you scroll down and place order, it will bring up a window saying create similar. You want to hit create similar because it'll still make the ads in the same campaign. And then you can move back up here, X out your images, browse library. I can find ad images I've used on previous campaigns even. Pick out a few of those ad images. And now I have a whole new set of images that I can use on the same campaign. I can reposition the images however I want them to look in the news feed. And then I can make a new ad campaign, or I can place order again and the ads will go in the same ad campaign as previously. Now you can see how to use images quickly in the Ads Manager. When you've got your images all ready to go, now the next line of work is to get the headline and the text up. You can see the text pops up right here on the newsfeed ads, and the text pops up here on the right-hand column ads. The headline on the right-hand column, you can see, turns out below your page name. On the newsfeed, if your picture is big enough, your headline actually doesn't display at all. So the key feature in the latest version of Facebook ads is the headline for right-hand column ads, and it's the text for newsfeed ads. For the text, you want to make sure to communicate whatever value you're offering, and it needs to be focused specifically on your action objective. So for me, if I'm making an ad for page likes, which I've created one now, I want to ask people to like my page one way or another. I've seen so many Facebook ads, I don't like the cheesy approach of like if you're happy or whatnot. I prefer to do something such as like to learn about Facebook advertising? It's a question, and the word like is in there, so it's a bit more subconscious than direct. For the newsfeed, this is all I need in the newsfeed is this text. Like to learn about Facebook advertising. And you can see I just put some quick stock photos in here that have done well on past campaigns. For the right column, however, I want a title. So I want something also similar that matches with my objective. There. When I ask a simple question, have a Facebook page, the idea is whoever I'm showing the audience to, I want to catch their attention if they're looking on the right-hand column and they have a Facebook page. This way, they see right here clearly the value I'm delivering, and I should get them to like my page fairly easily by going with this approach. You can mix it up and put different ad titles in. All you have to do is, once you've done everything else that we're going to cover, place order. When the pop-up appears saying create similar ad, you go back up to the top and you can change your headline or your text while keeping your same images. And when you go back down and hit place order again, it will place 6 more different ads with your new text in it. So it's easy to make ad variations, and it's important to make ad variations on the text because you don't know exactly what will work. For example, I could make a headline that says Facebook page owner or Facebook page admin instead. And I could add on more to this, say, get free access to my online course, for example. Now I could try that separately. If you repeat this process with the headline and the text, you should find a combination that works great for you. if you want to get the absolute most likes for your page, you want to target countries where you will get the most likes for every dollar you spend. The simple principle for this is you want to advertise in countries where people are interested in your topics and where the ad costs are cheap. I'm going to give you a list of these countries to show you what you can do on even a very small budget. And then I'm going to go back to adding them in and showing you how to do that. So I'm going to my page first. I'm going to show you my insights. I'll show you the people on my page. And you can see I have just a ton of fans from these top 10 countries. So I'm going to put these in the Ads Manager. We're just going to take United States out for now. And this is just to get likes on your page. If you want to get a lot of likes on your page, use these countries: Pakistan, Indonesia, Egypt. You have Algeria, Tunisia. And this is how you type them in. You just put them all in here together. And these countries also, I'm targeting just on English. So you can see when I put that in, I just wiped half the potential audience out. But it's great because a lot of people that are on Facebook in these countries speak English. So if your ads are English, your page is English, then you are going to do well advertising in these countries based on the amount of money you spend versus the amount of page likes you get. There. You can see that's 176 million people that speak English. Algeria, Bangladesh, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Morocco, Nepal, Pakistan, the Philippines, and Tunisia. If I want to scroll down farther, I can see more countries where I'm big in. And you can see I've got 1,600 fans from the U.S., which is pretty cool because I've hardly done any page-like ads in the U.S. I'm not big on paying top dollar for my likes. I'd rather have 700,000 likes than, a few thousand more from the U.S. because 700,000 looks really impressive. I mean, who do you know that has a Facebook page this big? And that way I get lots of foreign clients also. I grab a client in a country where there's no competition at all for what I'm helping with. If you just want to promote, say, an artist page or just have the biggest page possible, using these countries along with a few more that I show you in the insights here, using those countries will help you get awesome results. You can see there's mostly in Asia, but there's some in Europe, Bosnia, there's some in South America, Venezuela, Romania, and I even have a good bit of fans from the UAE, mostly from Dubai. I've ran some ad campaigns there. And you can see I've got lots more fans from all kinds of countries. When you put these countries into the targeting, you match your age. You might want to go older depending on your product. For example, weight loss products. Let's say you have a weight loss page and you just want the page to look good. You just want to have as many fans as possible on it. This is often a good thing to do just to get your page off the ground, to get 5,000 or 10,000 people on it to get your page established. You have to target 18 plus due to Facebook requirements, but once you've done that, 5.6 million people in countries where the ad costs are rock bottom, you've got them all. They've all told Facebook they speak English and they like weight loss pages already. There you go. If you want to get the most likes, you go ahead and make an ad campaign like that for around $5 a day, bid for page likes, and see what happens. I bet you'll be quite happy with the results. If you want to get leads, AdSense traffic, or affiliate sales, I'm going to show you how to make the ad campaigns to do it. What I've done is get extra results and awesome traffic, especially for AdSense, by compiling an English wealth list, as I call it. These are a list of countries where the ad costs are all different but the wealth is comparable between them all. This means that people in these countries have comparable spending power. What's cool about it is so many people around the world with Facebook ads only focus on the US and maybe some of these next 4 countries. It's very rare for all of these countries, or even the majority of these countries, to make the list. This means you have the chance, depending on your product, your offer, etc., to grab valuable leads, affiliate traffic, or AdSense revenue using Facebook ads when you put these countries on the targeting. And I'll show you how to do that in the Facebook ads interface. So, assuming you've already set your ad up above for this exact purpose, what you want to do now is insert these countries that I've shared with you right here. So you put in United States, United Kingdom, and United Arab Emirates is good too because that includes Dubai, which is just loaded with wealth. You're not always talking about people that live in these countries either, but you're often focusing on people that are traveling in these countries. Because what you do is you pick English as the language, or assuming if you have a different language, you pick a different language, but you pick whatever your language is, so you get people in these countries that have told Facebook they speak your language. So then you can often get people who are traveling. For example, lots of people in the US go to these other countries. You can get them for a lower price while they're traveling abroad, and you might even get them at a much better time where they're more open to trying something new. And here's a gold mine I like, Singapore. Singapore is one of the highest concentrations in the world of ultra wealth. And while every person in Singapore is not carrying around loads of cash, you might get a gatekeeper for someone who has ultra wealth in Singapore for a much lower ad cost than you might see in some of the other countries. If you look at the average wealth, all the ultra wealth in Singapore pulls up the amount of per capita income greatly. And if you're wanting to know how I made this list, I went through Wikipedia and compared the levels of per capita and gross income from several different sources, and then I combined that with the English-speaking populations of those countries. So if you have a different language, your country options may be different, obviously. But if you're doing English, which a lot of Facebook ads are English, you have all of these countries to work with. And I'll spare you the time of putting every single one of them in the ad. You can download the list in the supplementary materials for this section. And here's an interest, or a way to target them based on interest. So digital marketing, you can see you get 2 million people between all of these countries. It's still a small portion of the total, but you're reaching the people in these countries that have a higher percentage of likelihood of being able to afford any products or services you offer, and being a valuable lead on an email list, and providing valuable AdSense clicks if you've monetized a website that way. I've got some absolutely exceptional results for clients using this list. So now I've shared this list with you. You have the opportunity to run with it and see what you can make of it. When you want to get sales out of Facebook ads, the country targeting gets a little bit trickier. It's pretty simple per se if you have a product that only sells in the US. However, if you have a digital product or a product that could sell in a lot more locations, you're probably much better off using the entire wealth list I showed in the Leads and AdSense video. The key is, what do you do if you're a little bit between? For example, if you have a product that only sells in the United States, I am going to still suggest most of the time you should add Canada. After visiting Canada and doing research on local buying habits, a lot of people told me they would go to great lengths to order things from the US, regardless of whether it was actually shippable in the US. People often had, especially near Toronto, had P.O. boxes or various methods they could use to order products from the US and pick them up either in the US or get them forwarded to Canada. The advantage of this is your competition drops a lot when you move into Canada. You can not only be seen by an entirely new audience, you can often be in front of an audience that has as much or more spending power and less opportunities in the same category you're in. This can also apply to even other countries outside of Canada. It could apply to Mexico or the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand. The more open-minded you think about your product and the more you research your buyers and your best customers, you might just find there's a Canadian ordering through a US address and credit card that's making big orders consistently. Take a look into your data and see if you can add as many countries as possible where you can feasibly sell your product. If you want to get your squeeze page seen by people and you want your ads to go straight to your squeeze page, this is exactly what you're going to appreciate being shown. I've already done my images and I've done some headlines and text for this specific tutorial at least. The key here to get your page shown is going in the landing view and picking the right name for your squeeze page tab. Note that I picked page likes to begin on this and then selected the landing view. My squeeze page is called Higher, and if I go to that app, you can see this is where people go once they land on my squeeze page. The also key thing you want to do is put your ad placements on either one or both of these. You want them in a newsfeed and or the right column. I recommend doing both because that gives you the most placement options. And you can see the different ad formats either here in the right column or here in the newsfeed. There's one more critical step to this outside of picking the right locations and interests and setting the campaign up correctly. What you need to do after you've done this is go to the Ads Manager, and I'll have to leave page to do this. You have to go to the Facebook Ads Manager and go to the Power Editor. And once you're in the Power Editor, we've improved the Power Editor. It may not completely kill you to use the Power Editor anymore. So now I download my ads into the Power Editor. You have to do this final step or you risk having your ads show up in the mobile news feed. If your ads show up in the mobile news feed, most of the time people will not go to your squeeze page, but Facebook will discreetly send them straight to your timeline. When you see you've got a ton of clicks and hardly any opt-ins, this might be the issue. So I don't have any of these going to squeeze pages, but if I did, I would take this campaign, see all the ads, just whatever campaign you have your squeeze page in, and then you select all of the ads with Control A, and then you go down to this key detail. If I can scroll to it, I'll make it bigger here. The key detail is placement. You want placement and you want desktop. You don't want any of these. You don't want this mobile option or desktop and mobile or all Facebook. You want either desktop, which is right-hand column and newsfeed on desktop only, or you want right-hand column on desktop only, or you want newsfeed desktop only. You can pick from any of those options. I usually do desktop, right-hand column, and newsfeed only. Once you make this change, then you can upload these changes. I'll scroll up here. You hit this green button to upload changes. I originally downloaded the ads with this button, and I'm going to show you more on the Power Editor later. But this key step to get your squeeze page integrated must be done in the Power Editor. If you want to quickly make a lot of ad campaigns and you don't want to have to use the Power Editor, which with the way the Power Editor is inconsistent in its being useful and reliability, this is a very handy skill to have if you need to make many ad campaigns that are similar. For example, I'm using one of my ad campaigns that's successful in picking up a lot of low-cost likes. What I do to make a similar ad campaign, I hit Create Similar Ad out of it. And you can see I already did that once before. I close that page. I hit Create Similar Ad. It populates everything in my last ad, including all of the countries. Imagine typing these in repeatedly. It puts all of my interests back in, and it puts my campaign back in. Now, here's the easy way I copy it. I hit New Campaign. I hit Bandwork Love 3, for example. If I just want a little campaign like I've got already, do $1 a day. I hit Place Order right here. Your order has been placed. You will receive a notification once your ads are reviewed. All you have to do now is hit Create Similar Ad again. Say I want to change the pictures. I can just remove that, browse library, try another picture in there. Or what I really should do is put a bunch of pictures in here. So I'll go to the browse library and just use some recent pictures, load it up with pictures. Now I really would want to reposition these two, but I'm showing you this as quick as possible. I can put them all in the same campaign. If I place order, all of these will go in the same campaign. Now, if I want to try split testing these, I can go Bandwork Love 4 and try a new campaign and say instead of love, maybe I put dogs in as the interest. Now my audience is completely different, which is great for pricing. I go down here and hit Place Order. And there we go. I've got another campaign. That's 2 new campaigns I've already made. And say I want to even try another. Let's do pets this time instead of dogs. A lot bigger audience. I go down and do a new campaign name. Bandwork Love Pets. Place order. There I've got another new campaign. And when you hit continue, then you go straight into the ad campaign you just created. What you want to do is go see all of the ad campaigns you just made. So you can see I just put 3 new campaigns out very quickly right there. And I only had to change a little tiny bit of the details on there. Now you can see I did that very fast. For each campaign though, you'll want to take the time and plan out the targeting options more carefully and precisely, as well as the pictures. For these, I'm not going to actually use these campaigns because I didn't do that. So I'm going to show you how to delete these campaigns. Because when you make fast campaigns like this, you will make some mistakes. Lord knows I've made a lot of mistakes making campaigns, but the more you do anything, the more you make mistakes. All you have to do is know how to clean those mistakes up. So I deleted those campaigns. I go back to the original campaign I created similar ad out of. I go down here. This is unusual for me to have one ad in a campaign, but I wanted to test if this would still get really cheap likes with just one ad in a campaign, and it does. So that's a success. Back to how I did it before. Create similar ad. Now you can see we're back to where we started, and I could repeat the process as many times as I wanted. And every time you do this, you make a new window. So you have to close all those windows you make to get back to your whatever you started with. I hope you find a way using this to make lots of campaigns faster without so much work. People consistently ask me, they say, Jerry, what do you think my daily budget should be? The minimum is $1 a day. And I've seen advertisers spend more than $1,000 a day on individual ad campaigns and as much as $5,000 a day in one ad account on their ads. My thought is usually that smaller ad campaigns get the best results. The smaller ad campaigns force Facebook to zoom in on getting results and not overcompete or just completely waste a daily budget. If you see the ad campaigns I've made recently for myself, you can see I strongly believe in this using a daily budget from between $1 to $10 a day. At the same time, I will run lots of campaigns at a time. There's days I've ran 10, 20 plus campaigns, and those campaigns range from $1 to $10 each. When I built my page with thousands of likes at a time, I was running a lot of anywhere from $1 to $20 a day ad campaigns. The ad campaigns at this level consistently work good to get these low-cost likes you see. What's bad about using larger campaigns is if you set your budget to maybe $1,000 a day, you are looking at a huge potential waste if the ad campaign goes wrong. It's much better to start a budget smaller and work your way up incrementally. I've seen ads for all kinds of different products, apps, pages, advertisers putting their ads in at several $100s a day and watching them just get butchered. I mean, $1, $2, $5, $10 a like. The higher you give Facebook a budget every day, it seems as if Facebook automatically scales up the ad campaigns. So when you put the big numbers in the budget down here, when you put $1,000 a day, it seems like Facebook tries to spend more of that on purpose. And this is clear because whatever you give Facebook, they will find a way to spend every day. Google, on the other hand, is a little more up and down. They don't always blow through your whole budget depending on how you set your ads. But Facebook will do everything it can, if your bid is high enough, to spend all of your budget. And if you're bidding for page likes or impressions or clicks, usually however you bid it, Facebook can figure out a way to spend as much as possible as long as your bid's up high enough. If you're bidding just straight up for page likes, your bid is always going to be high enough. The thing is, you start with smaller campaigns and work your way up after you see exactly what works well and what's successful. So when I grow a page, I usually start $1 to $10 or $20 plus a campaign if the page has huge goals like 100,000 likes in a short period of time. Once I see which $20 campaigns are working well, I copy that campaign and make more similar versions of that campaign. This allows me to scale up without competing so much against myself. If you are spending $1,000 a day and targeting a small niche, you're effectively competing against yourself. You're having to outbid your own ad impressions and outbid everyone else to get your ad shown often enough. So stick with lots of smaller ad campaigns and then carefully follow my recommendations for analyzing the results of those campaigns, and you'll give yourself the best opportunity to get a great return on your investment with your Facebook ad campaigns. Why are we here? To learn Facebook ads that get likes and fans and web traffic for the lowest cost. This is what I'm talking about. 2,619 likes for $1.73. 20,000 page likes at 0.00 cost per page like. 1 cent cost per click on a 4,729 page like campaign. If you want bigger stats, $181 spent for 60,000 page likes. $165 spent for 60,000 page likes. $155 spent for 53,000 page likes. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this for yourself, regardless of what kind of page you have. If you want to spend $840 and get 250,000 Facebook likes out of it, or get people to your website, or anything else you want people to notice online, here's how to do it. And a lot more of what you can achieve with it. 2,900 likes for $12. Now, these results are some awesome campaigns with it, but you used to easily be able to get 100 to 200 likes per dollar using this strategy. Click-through rate of around 1% at 0.02 optimized CPM. That's where you get a 0.00 per like. Why would you want 100,000 fans? Why did I make this video? And why would you want 100,000 fans? I want you to have the best available resources to build your reputation, your Facebook page, and who you are up online completely for free. You want 100,000 fans because you want an audience. You want to stand out. The same reason I've made this YouTube video. I want to give you something that's helpful and useful. You want to have an audience of people you give helpful and useful information to that pay attention to you and what you have to offer. The idea is with the 100,000 fans, you want to stand out. You want to stand out like this. 676,000 likes on my third company Facebook page. The one before it had over 600,000, and the first one I made had over 100,000. The irony is I spent more effort, time, and aggravation to make the first one that had 100,000 than I did to make the next two pages combined that now have over 1 million fans. You want to stand out on networks like Klout, where this is a top 1% score in terms of influence. Klout measures your online influence. My company stands out from the thousands of other companies offering to help out with online advertising and Facebook ads. My YouTube channel, the same thing. So what I'm showing is I believe strongly in what I'm showing you how to do, and that's why I'm showing you how to do it, is because I want you to be able to do this for yourself. So you make an audience, and most do not, and I will show you the cost of not making an audience, and then I will dive into the details of actually how to do this. I love this ad. This came up on my newsfeed. Are you curious enough? With a picture of an attractive girl, a website, and an app. Now, what is wrong with this ad? Any ideas what's wrong with this ad? Well, now that you've had time to look at it, I would say you probably can say 23 people use this app is what's wrong with this ad. Why would I want to know about or use something that only 23 people have used? There's a very small fraction of the population that's always interested in being the very first to do something and engage with something. Those 1 to 10%, depending on your definition, are either called innovators, early adopters, or something similar. Those are the only possible people that might be attracted to this ad. The problem is most of those kinds of people, especially in where I'm located in Sarasota in the U.S., are not the kind of people that are seeing this ad. I have no interest in using an app that
you could see whoever made this app didn't even get their friends and family all to use the app, let alone anyone else. Why would I want to use it? The same applies more generally. Brand launch experts. I hope they don't mean online branding, because 387 people liking their page, and I checked it just now since I took the screenshot a couple of months ago. This page only is up to 400 and something now. They are not even launching themselves online, let alone would I trust them to launch my company online. The same thing with brand business creatively or this headline from Do Video Now. I don't understand why I would want to participate with that when it's clear that not very many other people are. Or at least that's how it appears on Facebook, and that's the key difference. Regardless of how many people are actually doing business with any of these companies, how they appear on Facebook is mostly a function of how many likes you have and how much engagement you have. By comparison, look at this ad for Walmart. I have 2 of my friends that like Walmart. So when I see their ad for Start College in Style, even though I've got my master's degree already and I'm not exactly going back to college Walmart, but their ad targeting department's not perfect either. They do have 2 of my friends that already like the page. So that's a lot more powerful endorsement. Imagine if I had 2 of my friends that liked this page. I might be paying attention to it. Or if I saw, like on this next page, 36,000 people like astrology and horoscope. I take that seriously. I would think that's established. That's a lot of people are trusting and participating with their comment, regardless of the actual in-person reality behind that. It looks impressive. This modeling troop, considering it's an event, looks fairly impressive as well. When you only have a few likes on your page, regardless of how creative your picture is, it's not as impressive. And what you do, you want to stand out. The thing is, look at this progressive post, the engagement on it. 230 likes on it, 136 comments, 26 shares. Yes, you could say, well, Progressive has a huge budget. They can afford to do stuff like this. You can afford to do stuff like this on a small budget using these strategies I'm going to show you. And the difference is when you pop up in your ideal person's news feed, you want to look impressive. It's just like dating. When you are about to go out with the perfect person, girl or guy, whatever, you want to look your best and be in great shape. What I'm going to show you is how to look and present your best side. Now, what you actually have to offer people will determine what response you get out of it. But I'm giving you a chance to succeed. This information gives you a chance to get where you want to. You have to take that chance and make something out of it. I'm giving this to you because I want you to have the biggest chance possible. Most people don't have much of a chance, and I want you, and I want the people of the world to all have a chance. For example, this is not a chance. When you've put an ad like this in my newsfeed, 20 people like it with 1 comment and 1 share. I hope the comment and the share was at least maybe the person that posted the ad, or maybe someone else. Who knows? They're offering free small business news. Why would I want free small business news when their engagement's so low that my potential trust or belief in their ability to give me news I can use, which they say they offer, is very low? Because I know if it was that good, other people would be using it before me. I know of too many websites and too many places I can get great small business news from to be interested in trying a new one that's thrown in front of me just because it's there. The same thing applies for this page that's promoting itself. Sure, they tell me what they do. Given 358 people like this, and I don't know anyone from it, it's not standing out, the logo's not even coming through clearly, what is the point of me engaging with this ad. They're paying Facebook to show this ad. What are they getting out of it? I want you to be able to get the most out of it. Now it's time for me to show you how. Because a lot of you were probably sold on the why before I described it. But it's important to cover why when we do things. Because why do we do anything? If there's no why to what you're doing, then why bother? But now that you know why, here's the how. The key philosophy behind the how is, as Sun Tzu says, you want to subdue the enemy without fighting. I don't want to fight with other advertisers with massive budgets, like Coke, or whoever spends tons of money online advertising in the US. I don't want to fight with them over the same person seeing my ads. I don't have to with the way Facebook allows you to target. If you look, this is one of the ads campaigns I showed earlier that got 60,000 likes for $165. Look at how these ads are targeted. India, Albania, Nepal, Malaysia, Mexico, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Pakistan, Venezuela, Argentina, Chile, Indonesia, Brazil, Poland, Serbia, Slovakia, Trinidad and Tobago, Bangladesh, Egypt, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Tunisia, Vietnam, or Algeria. I know all these companies give low-cost ad impressions, and I know there's very few other advertisers with big budgets that are pushing ads out in these areas. And this is what I got out of it. $165, 60,000 page likes. And that's a product of the click-through rate times the optimized CPM. So this is an exceptional click-through rate because a lot of these are showing in areas where the ads very rarely get clicked on. That's why they're so cheap. So this click-through rate times how cheap the ads are. This means I'm getting 6.5 clicks out of every 2 cents I spend. This is how I'm getting the ads so cheap. And that's what you want to do. You can do it by targeting countries like this. And I recommend you match it specifically to what you do. If your page is in Spanish or another language, you want to pick the countries based on where your audience is. These countries I've researched, they have a low-cost English-speaking audience, which is what I'm looking for. Although this ad didn't actually target English, but I'll show you future ads that do. This is an ad targeting a Christian audience in countries where there's lots of Christians that speak English. You can see the ads at a much higher click-through rate here and are showing at the lowest price I can get in US dollars. I'm wanting to try some lower value currencies so that I can get even lower prices, but 1 cent per 1,000 impressions. That means I'm getting 11 clicks out of every 1,000 impressions I show for 1 cent. So you can see how I got 4,000 clicks, 3,800 page likes out of $4.71 spent. And these are targeted to people that already like Christianity or Christian-based Facebook pages. They're targeted to people that already told Facebook they speak English, either the UK or the US version. And you can see this is actually even a mix of the US, India, Tanzania, Italy, Ethiopia, Malaysia, Mexico, Canada, Pakistan, Venezuela, Argentina, etc. These are countries where there's lots of Christians that speak English. I matched this off of Wikipedia with the numbers of people that speak English with the numbers of Christians and then put that into Facebook targeting. So that's how you can do the same thing. Here's a similar type campaign I ran for my original free advertising training video that I made. You can see I'm targeting a niche of marketing and advertising that's very specific, and I'm getting event responses for 7 cents each. That's anywhere from 10 to 100 times less than a lot of other people are paying online for event responses. I ran local ads just trying to do it the hard way, and most event responses were costing anywhere from $2 to $10. You're saying, well, why do you want people from Kenya to come to your online ad training? Because a person from Kenya coming to my online ad training is just as good in terms of the metrics, in terms of the number of people at the event, the number of people on Google that watch it, the number of YouTube views I get that follow up, the number of shares. Almost all of the key metrics, having someone from Kenya come to the event is just as good or better than having someone from the US or another country like Canada or Australia where the ad costs are higher come to my event. Now, at this point you might say, well, what are the odds of someone from Kenya actually paying you to do business with you? They're probably pretty low. But here's the thing. The odds of someone in the US paying me to do business with them are low also. The difference is I can get 10 to 100 plus people in Kenya for the same cost as one person in the US. Now scale that up. I can get 1,000 people from the US, or I can get 100,000 people from Kenya. Are there that many people in Kenya? I don't know, but where that can go to my event. But between all these countries, there are. I'd rather have 100,000 people go to my event because the follow-up, all of the traffic and online excitement that results from that will bring me people from the US and Canada and places that can pay. All of the follow-up and activity from that will bring me for free people that find my videos and that will be interested in paying me. The idea is having more online is much better than having less at the same cost. And it's not all about getting paid. Most of my cohorts or people doing similar activities to me think the only thing that matters is getting someone to pay you, and that's not the only thing that matters in this brave new world. And if you want to see the ad, here's the ad. So that's not all that matters, is getting paid. Helping people and giving people useful information is what matters. If you give people what they need, people will give you what you need. So that's what I'm doing. I want to give as many people as possible what they need with the understanding that I will probably get what I need in return. I have faith, and this approach is built on having faith and building an audience of people that value what you give them. Out of this, or in this same line of thinking, Macklemore, if you like Thrift Shop or his album, says, one man's trash is another man's come up. The same idea of the thrift shop. Getting things at a great value, especially online, is much more powerful than doing things the way everyone else thinks to do. So here's how this campaign went. 700 event responses, $52. This is another man's trash, is one man's trash to another man's come up. $58, 19,000 likes. 19,000 likes, regardless of where they're from, is better than 100 likes from a very specific place. What I offered in this original free training and what I'm expanding on now is showing you how to do this. Using these results clearly works again and again for any type of page, regardless of the ad campaign, to get exceptional results for a very low price. $24 for 9,600 page likes. And when I started this on my third company page, I just put pictures of my dogs and promoted my puppy, and you can see I only had 36,000 likes at this point. This is exactly how I made the ads. 9,600 page likes, targeted to people that like dog, who speak English, who are not connected to Bandwork, in the countries I knew where the ad costs are low. I used stock photos to ensure I didn't have any copyright. I asked a simple question to begin, and I gave a simple value proposition. And this is how I target it. Now, what if you do not have pictures of cute dogs? On the forums I post on the Warrior forums, there's lots of haters, of course, that say, you can't just use dogs and all these other strategies to get as many fans as possible. That's crap. Well, I agree. In principle, at least. In practice, you can do whatever works. But in principle, you should ideally give things related to what you do. My strategy works for any page, for any ad creative, any medium, because it's not as much of a simple approach or a little hack or a weird trick. It's an assumption that everyone's valuable. My strategy simply challenges the assumption that people are worth more than others. The strategy I'm saying is everyone's valuable online. What do you think this kind of ad campaign's for? These kind of results. 1,400 likes, $28. You can see this ad campaign was for a computer or an IT business page. Like work with computers, we have information that can help with a circuit board. In the broad categories, computer programming or owners of old computers. You can see one of the individual ad campaigns as a part of the larger campaign had 658 page likes. Now here's another one. $28 spent, 1,600 page likes. If you look into the details, the ad costs are a little bit higher, but the cost per page like is 1 and 2 cents each. And it turns out this is actually for a real estate page. Love the beach photo. I mean, this is an exact value proposition of a real estate agent that's a friend of mine. I did ads. I even put his ads in the US, UK, Canada, along with some low-cost countries, targeted very specific terms related to the kind of homes he might like. And look, 1 week of his ads got 736 likes for $7. Actually, a correction. This was his ad campaign above. Well, they both got exactly 736. That's funny. You can see he got a lot more photo views than the other guy did. All right, anyway, moving on. Keys to financial success. This is for a MLM, a financial success page. You can see he got 736 likes also with 26 page views and 1 page post like. While his page has 1,751 people that like his page, the ads were targeted to people that liked finance, so a much different audience in similar types of countries. Here's a different ad campaign for mobile app installs, and this actually is tracking the installs directly from Google Play. And this ad campaign is targeted very broadly because this was an exploratory ad campaign, but you can still see the app install cost is pretty low. There's lots of companies that pay $1 or $2 for an app install or get expensive ad campaigns in Times Square and work desperately hard to promote their apps. And you can see $30 spent, 129 app installs. Scale that up on the App Store, and you can easily push your app up in the leaderboards. Why does this work like this? 80-20 rule. 80% of advertisers target 20% of the audience. 20% of the advertisers target 80% of the audience. I'm in those 20%. The bulk of Facebook users are not in the US or the UK or in Canada or in Australia or in most of the countries most of the money gets spent to target. At the same time, most of the users in the countries that don't have as many ads have really low quality of ads because there's not as much competition or as many different pages for them to choose from. They see ads often not relevant to their page that are mistargeted or not in their language. I'm putting good ads in places where the cost is low and the competition's low. That's why I can get such great results like this. Event responses at a really low cost. Now, how effective is this strategy? If you want to see a direct comparison, this is using the strategy that I am recommending. We're assuming all people are created equal, and especially when it comes to getting page likes. This is with my country targeting that I showed before. Now, when I made the change on this date, and the ads ran full on this date, the exact same budget, but the ads are restricted to the US only starting on this day. 6 page likes versus over 200 out of the exact same budget. This is the difference. If you think 6 page likes are worth the exact same as 250 page likes out of the same budget, I'm going to say most of the time that's going to be wrong. At least for the long term and building a successful audience. Sure, you might maybe get a purchase or something out of those 6 likes, whereas you might not get it out of the 250. But for the long term, when wealth continues to spread around the world, Facebook continues to be more established, fans around the world get more expensive. When you have 3 million fans and you're getting thousands of fans free every day, or you've got 10,000 fans and everyone already made a purchase and is not making new purchases, I'm going to say having the 3 million fans is a lot more valuable. Now, this doesn't just apply for only targeting low-cost countries. Using more broad country targeting and out-of-the-box targeting, you can still target countries where the wealth and per capita income spending power gives you access to more people for a lower cost. So you can see I'm getting web clicks for 21 cents each, targeting countries where I know based on the research that I have a good chance of getting someone to make a purchase from me. So I'm still targeting great areas of opportunity with focused ads for my own company website at 21 cents per click. And you can see the suggested bid range, I'm getting way into the bottom of that. Using broader country targeting, and if you want to match it with wealth, you can still be getting great opportunities and customers using this strategy of exploring and finding those 80% of the audience that most advertisers don't target. Based on my feedback, a lot of people asked, while I watched your video, I didn't see how to actually make and go in and do the ads. So on this second run through of the video, I've shown you what's possible, why you should do it, and how to do it. The how to do it is now I'm going to give you more detail on how to actually do it from start to finish. So facebook.com/ads. The first question is, what can you promote? You can promote websites, Facebook pages, mobile apps, affiliate links, phone numbers, or your business location with Facebook ads. Facebook ads is a powerful platform in terms of how many people you can reach, how targeted they are, and where you can send them. Now, with this group of pages, you have to get more creative. You can't just simply send someone your affiliate link or your phone number or your business location generally. But this first group of pages is pretty straightforward. What is the best to promote? I recommend always promoting pages, photos, and stories, at least with the majority of your ads. You can see I promoted events and websites of my own. Obviously, I've promoted many more client websites and pages and photos of theirs. The best return generally for the long term is promoting a Facebook page directly, or photos or stories directly. The conversions, for example, that I've seen the best out of were for a weight loss product that promoted a weight loss story directly in a post. $1.41 for a lead. And I mean, that, given that most of their leads were costing a lot more than that, the story they posted was powerful, and I recommend that. What do the ads look like? Once you go to facebook.com/ads, Facebook may offer you some basic, get your first ad set up or whatnot. But once you do that or have done that, this is what the ads interface looks like. And these, you can see some of the ad campaigns I've been running to promote my own page. The key areas on this are there's three key areas. The campaigns and ads is the main tab to use. The create an ad button is where you actually make the ads. But a lot of people neglect the reports tab, and there's three parts to doing Facebook ads that are critical. One is doing your research beforehand. And this video is part of your research beforehand about what's possible. Two is actually creating an ad that's simple and matched to the audience. I showed you a few examples of ads I've done. I'll show you more. But the third part that most people neglect is correctly analyzing the data based on what they're getting out of it. And I say correctly. Correctly in this sense is emphasizing focus on the important data, the data that matters. And the cost per page like, if you're advertising a page, is nearly the only thing that matters. The cost per page like, all the click-through and all the other data they give you, it doesn't matter if you're promoting a page. Just the cost per page like is the only thing you need to look at. So I'm going to give you more of that in the future. The next step looking at this is, once you know how to use this interface, you click on create an ad. This is what will pop up. I put in my company's Facebook page. Get more page likes is my objective. Now, if you want to promote a business location, or you have something you want to get a conversion out of, or something similar to that, you might want to promote a page post instead of getting more page likes. However, you want a lot of page likes first. Remember how I showed you to begin with what it looks like when you have a page that's small that no one believes in. You want to get more page likes first to just get that validity. You know, with over 500,000 people liking my page, you know I have a sizable audience. And you can say whatever you want to about my audience. I've got a huge audience and a huge online footprint, even though my company is only around 2 years old. I have a bigger footprint than million-dollar companies around the world. That's what you want to establish first, especially if you do a lot of business online. Now, if you just want people to call you or do some local business with you, promoting the page post might be a better option. Once you've picked to get more page likes, you have options to upload different images. Now, one of the pro tips to get better results out of your ads is to upload big, good-looking images. What is the easiest way to get big, good-looking images? If you already have an established, for example, a car dealership, just take pictures of the cars you have and upload those pictures. Crop them in, put your phone number in. If you are a fashion boutique, which seem to gravitate towards me as a client, you can put pictures that you already take into these images. The key is you want to use a lot of pictures. You can put up to 6 images in one ad, but you want to make your ad campaigns with 20 to 30 different images. So you want to upload as many images as possible. Once you put the images in, you want to see how they look in various ad formats. The news feed is the first ad they show, and you can see the headline doesn't actually show in the newsfeed ad because of my image size. It only shows the text, and Facebook gives you the notification of that right there. The headline, I just put this for fun in the video, Bandwork Rocks Your World, but you can see some of the other ads I did had a very simple key value proposition, such as like cute dogs or like a great business strategy. You want a simple headline often that asks a question and gets people thinking. You don't want an ad that just blends in with the rest, and most of the ads are talking at people instead of talking to people. You want to give someone the chance to think about what you have to say. You don't want to just blindly yell at them because everyone else is blindly yelling at them too. The name of the game is to stand out. So your headline is a great chance to stand out unless you're in the news feed, in which case it's not even there. So it's important, if you have a key headline you want to use, you may need to remove the newsfeed ad. For the text ad, you can see in the newsfeed this pops up. For the right-hand column, you'll see the right-hand column, the headline's here, and the text is right here. For the text, you often want to put your value proposition. Once you get someone thinking about what you have to offer, then you want more of your value proposition in the text. The sponsored stories, I would generally recommend unchecking this option. The sponsored stories create an additional ad unit that specifically shows just that your friends like something. Often these will be a lot more expensive than a more generic ad. I recommend experimenting and seeing what works best for you. Now, how do you actually choose the locations? Once you've done the last several steps, now you can actually choose the locations. This is how I would make my campaign if I wanted to reach what has proven to consistently be my easiest to reach and highest value return in terms of cost of acquisition and cost, my ROI. This is my great return. Older people in Canada that are interested in various business areas. However, remember what I showed you before. To just build Facebook likes, as many of them as possible, you want to enter in countries where the ad costs are low, either in addition to your ideal scenario, or I recommend splitting completely. You have one campaign you put up for your ideal scenario, and you put another campaign up that's just for quantity, just as many people as possible. In the targeting settings, you just continue to add one location by country and after another. I recommend if you're going to go with getting as many as possible, go all the way with it. Just leave the age to the default, leave the gender, maybe pick the gender, like if it's a fashion page, picking the women can help a lot in getting better results. The key is, no matter how you do your ads, picking your interests out is critical. And there's a mixed bag on this. Sometimes picking out a generic interest can prove to be a great way to get a ton of fans for low cost. Other times, picking out a generic interest can be a great way to blend in with everyone else and get higher ad prices charged. Sometimes an alternative, such as choosing an out-of-the-box targeting, such as for a fashion page, choosing women that like happy, and then showing them how your page makes them happy, can often work a lot better than hitting the generic fashion terms. You also can target competitor pages only and not put in the generic terms, because lots of times the competitors have done however they got their fans. You know a lot more about what kind of person likes their page than, say, the people using the fashion term. And you're going to often run into less competition using more specific page audiences than using a generic term. The thing is, the only way you know is if you test both of them against each other. So my recommendation is always to make separate campaigns by audience. So that's location, age, gender, and interests. And use the same ad creatives. The final step in creating your ads is doing the campaign. So when I say make a separate campaign, you use the new campaign option to make a different campaign. And this is especially powerful for testing out your ads based on getting a low-cost audience. If you want a low-cost audience, you want to test those ads out separate from whatever other ads you're doing so that you can just see how much they're costing you versus how much you're paying in the other campaign. I always recommend setting a daily budget, but if you only have a fixed budget, you can set a start and an end date and have a lifetime budget, and that way you know you're not just going to spend a ridiculous amount of money by accident. The bidding choices are key, especially to get the most likes out of those optimized CPM campaigns I showed you. You need to choose optimize for page likes. If you bid for clicks, if you get a click for 1 cent each, the max you can get is 100 clicks per dollar. If you remember my screenshots before, I was getting as many as 11 clicks for 1 cent spent. Thus, you need to optimize for page likes to get the best possible rate, unless you're doing web traffic. You can do the strategy I've suggested for web traffic also, just the same as you can do it for Facebook traffic. Although there's likely to be a lot of unexpected consequences. For example, Facebook might be available in the country you're advertising in, but your website might not load. So you would want to test that out carefully in each scenario and get some data on that before you go with a huge campaign. But you can manually bid for clicks, and I recommend doing this if you're getting just web traffic, or you want web traffic as the result. So, when you do all of this right, here's what can happen. This is one of the many $10 a day campaigns I'm running. You can see I'm pushing over 200 likes per dollar spent. So that means I'm getting 2 clicks for every, or 2 likes out of every 1 cent spent. This is what's possible for you when you put all these strategies together. And here's how, after I make the ads, like you just saw, here's how they come out. The key is this metric, cost per page like, total spent. Most of the money I'm spending in this campaign is coming out at 2 page likes for 1 cent. So that means it shows as 0.00 cost per page like. And that's a function of click-through rate times optimized CPM. That's how you get your page like. Now, optimized CPM technically is cost per 1,000. And the click-through rate is per 100. So the click-through rate, you actually times it by 10. So that's 3.25 times the 1 cent. And then you can see I'm getting 3 clicks for every cent I spend. And that's how I'm getting 2 page likes out of the money I spend. So you can see $65 spent, roughly 3 clicks per cent spent. 19,000 clicks turns into 14,000 page likes. That's the basic data analysis. Now, remember when I said earlier about the value of clicking the Reports tab? I'm going to show you how to use the Reports tab really quick, because this strategy can be great using 1 or 2 ad campaigns. You can easily see for yourself how good it is. When you want to scale this strategy up and pull 100, 200, 1,000, a million Facebook likes, what you need to do to see what's working the best is use the custom report tab. And you can use this. I'm going to show quickly how to do it for page likes and for conversions. So this one you can see is sorted by conversion. And I did this. I went into the reports tab and I custom selected the columns I wanted to print out. So I chose each of these metrics so that Facebook wouldn't give me a bunch of crap I didn't need. And this was an actual analysis I did for a client with a weight loss product. He originally wanted to get conversions down below $20 each. What he didn't realize was that he already had ran a campaign that was getting conversions for $1.41 each. So he runs hundreds of ad campaigns at once. This ad campaign slipped through the cracks. He ran it for a while, but he picked a length on it. You know, he picked a start and an end date, and went and concluded, and he never noticed $1.41 cost per lead out of this campaign. You can see these campaigns all should be running. When I did this analysis, I told him you need to unpause all of these campaigns that aren't running right now because they were working exceptional. I sorted the same thing for him. He wanted me to come in. He was getting most of his likes for around 79 cents each. And you can see most of these new campaigns I created for him were doing that for a lot less. And they were doing it actually using just a US audience. And the methodology I told you for creating the ads above. So making 6 to 20, 30 plus images per campaign and then trying out all the different audiences, you can see his cost per page likes low. But when you use the worldwide ad campaigns and they're all getting you likes for 0.00, what you'll need to do is actually export this to an Excel file and then sort that by the cost per page like, because a lot of the campaigns I run, the cost per page like is 0.002, 3 or 4, so you can't actually see the difference in the Facebook ads interface. But the importance of sorting on these critical action metrics such as cost per page like and cost per lead or conversion, you've got to sort on these. Otherwise, this is what happens. $9,000 spent on Facebook ads, 79 cents per like to almost the same audience I was running those 20 cents per like ads to, and $4,600 for a conversion. I mean, he said about half of his purchases were immediate conversions and half were long-term conversions. This audience that you spent 10 grand on is none of them are immediate conversions. You don't want things like that. So the reports tab, half of the importance of doing the reporting is to not as much find and analyze every campaign, but find your best and your worst campaigns. Get rid of, pause, and delete the worst campaigns and make sure all the best ones are running. The same thing with the cost per page like. This campaign spent $52, no conversions, and got 1 like out of it. Now this campaign with $11 conversions, you're getting those short-term conversions, but you're not getting much long-term value. The ideal solution, you want to get some of these campaigns running like I showed up here. 22 cents per like, you're getting long-term value, plus you're getting some immediate value out of it as well. So doing these reporting tabs and sorting based on best and worst, that's the easiest way to see how well the method I showed you is working, and especially to compare between your different ad campaigns and things you're testing. So this is what you want to get your goal at. And I've showed you the 3 key things you need to do to get it this way. You first want to do your research, think out of the box. Second, you want to create the ads with attention to having powerful ad campaigns that are split tested. That means you have different ad campaigns and you have many different ads with different pictures at least in each campaign. And then you have to analyze what ads are working and what aren't. Did this seem like a whole lot to you to learn? Well, I've combined the thousands of hours of experience I have down into one video. If it seems like a whole lot, you can email hijerry@bandwork.com with your questions. If you want to make Facebook ad campaigns like a pro, this is a valuable skill I'm going to show you how to do in this video, making actual campaigns that will be live. It's a valuable skill that you can easily learn in a few hundred hours on a small budget, and you can then earn at least $20 an hour working online on Odesk or Elance doing this. If you have your own company, you can get hundreds of dollars per ad campaign. This is me, Jerry Banfield on the left, and my wife. The reason I've made this video is to share with you how to make Facebook ad campaigns like a pro. If you need help after watching this video or want me to make a campaign for you, please email hijerry@bandwork.com. hijerry@bandwork.com. My mission, the why I do all of this, is to spread love, faith, and inspiration. Thank you for watching my video, and email me if you need a little help. Here is the actual campaign setup I'll be doing. It's for CallDoc. So they've asked me to make 4 ad campaigns for them. CallDoc, and the nice thing doing this video for them, or with their ads on it, is I'm sharing their service and what they do with you, so you can get to know what they do also. First, in order to set it up, they had to add me to their account, tell me exactly what they needed, why they needed it, what kind of budget they wanted, and they've ran some ads already. And their results are similar to what I see in many of the ad counts when I go to make ads for the first time. So what do I do? I've done a lot of work already before I've even started this video, and I'm going to give you a snapshot of that to help you know what you have to do up front, and also not to take all the time up with the research. The first things I had to do, obviously, were go through their website. And in going through their website allows me to learn about what they do, how they do it, and why they do it. They offer healthcare access remotely. In other words, access to doctors easily and quickly via phone or the internet. So you pick up your phone, if we can see this last page, pick up the phone or go online, and then you talk to a doctor. The reason they've made this is because healthcare is so expensive, of course, but also 4 out of 5 visits to the ER, to the doctor, often could be handled just by talking to the doctor and explaining to the doctor what your symptoms are without the doctor actually seeing you. So that's the idea with this. And I have to look through and learn exactly what a potential Facebook page does, or a potential Facebook ad campaign client does, so that I can create the ads with the intent to match the customer to that. So I have to go through all their website, look through all their detailed pages, and I've already done that beforehand. What I have to make and prepare for my ad campaigns, I need to have the landing pages that are the best out of what they have available. And I need to understand their bottom line. So their bottom line is this page, the conversions. They want people to sign up for $20 a month or $19.45 a year and get an ad campaign. Or I'm making an ad campaign. They want people to sign up for CallDoc so that people have access to this service. So that's their bottom line. My bottom line right now is to find the best way to get them to go to the bottom line. And my thought is to put several landing pages down and then follow up with them and see which one works best. To me, on their website, I found the main page, the services, and the testimonials page. All of these are good opportunities to land potential visitors there. Since they have both a global campaign and a US campaign, I can actually choose different landing pages based on where I'm running the ads too. So if you can get an idea, I've already done a lot more looking through the website and understanding what they do. So you obviously, if you're doing your own ads, this is a lot easier in terms of understanding what you already do. But if you want to be able to do other people's ads, you have to first start with learning as much as you can quickly about them. So step 1, I've learned about a lot about them already. Step 2, in my notes here, I have that they want a US website traffic campaign, a US likes campaign, an international web traffic, and an international likes campaign. So the easiest for me to do will be the likes campaigns to begin. I can just make some campaigns to get more likes for the pages and go from there. So what I'll do is begin with the global ad campaigns, because I've done a lot of global ad campaigns. They had to add me to their page. They had to add me as an advertiser to their page and to their ad account. So they've already done that. Now what I want to do with the international campaigns is make the ads to get the lowest cost likes possible. For each of these campaign objectives, you want to laser focus on the exact objective. So this is an international campaign. I want the lowest cost likes available. I take off the sponsored stories. And since I just want people to like the page, I'm actually going to remove the newsfeed ads also, because the newsfeed's often more expensive and it's in a different format. So I want to know exactly what the ad looks like. Now, you saw I was in the ads managers where I began. So that's facebook.com/ads, and then that's the ads manager. So if I go back here, I can show you how I got here again. I started off in my own account, and then I went to my client's account up here, and then there's where I started, and then I clicked create ad. So I'll put this back out here. And then when I clicked create ad, I selected their page, and now pictures. This is where a lot of the magic happens that a lot of people miss out on getting great results. So I'm starting with all these pictures. Well, if you saw a default picture loaded, but I don't want to use any of those default pictures because I kind of have an idea of what kind of pictures I want. I want great looking pictures, and I want a lot of them. I also need to have the copyright available to the pictures because if I don't, I risk getting my ad account banned or getting the ads removed. And we don't want that. So what I've done, I already have a subscription to photospin.com. They were one of my clients before, and I liked their service so much that I subscribed to it. Now I get downloads every day on their service. So what I want is I want some doctor images because that's what I am planning to go with the ad creative. I have to kind of plan ahead what I want to say in the headline and the text. And sometimes you can skip ahead and do the targeting for that. So I'm actually going to skip ahead and do the targeting first to see how big my audience is, see who I'm targeting. Then I'll go back and do the headline and the images. But it's important to have this resource to pick images out first. I like Photospin because I can download 50 images a day on it. If you have another stock photo account, you can use that. I do not recommend using Google Images because you're not going to have the copyright to those. So how do I do the locations? For an international campaign, I have a list I've researched of low-cost countries to advertise in. And what I'm going to do now is go ahead and enter all those low-cost countries that I already know will do well to put in for getting low-cost ads. So I'm putting in Philippines. I love these countries. They have so many English-speaking people in them, and they're so low cost. More people are targeting them now with how much I've promoted this strategy. And even like the University of Florida has been targeting Thailand in their ads. Okay. So I put ads in all these countries because I know the ads are low cost. And for this objective, the client wants an international campaign to get the most likes. So that's the campaign's geared towards the most likes. That's the purpose of it. When I get the international web traffic, I will want to pick countries where there's higher per capita income also, because if there's a higher per capita income, there's a higher likelihood they'll subscribe to the service. For the web traffic, I want conversions. But for this campaign, I just want to get as many likes as possible. This campaign should help them get a large Facebook page. And that's the purpose of it. So I want the lowest cost countries in that ad campaign. These are ones I've already researched that I know work well. And so that's why I'm using them. So you can see obviously my audience is too broad. Now when I pick an interest, I want to match an interest that I can kind of ask a question with. So I want to pick an interest that I can ask a question with and then match that with pictures. So something like, related to what they do, like doctors. So I'm trying to think of an angle for that now by searching on available things to target. I mean, I can even do something like health, because that's a very large audience. Now, I don't know if I want to do that, but I've got to match up what they want. So I'm just typing in keywords related to what they do, and I'm watching the audience up here. Now there's hospital right there, But see, if I target hospital, then what am I going to say on the ad? Like hospital? Well, probably not. I want to find something that's positive. So I want to target something about being healthy. But the audience is too small on that, so Facebook will give me a more broad term called health. But I can also use these categories Facebook has to look down here and see if there's anything. These are usually crap though, because the way, however Facebook aggregates them, usually the hashtag ones are a lot better. So I'm going to try health for this one. And I'm not going to use the advanced targeting options. I'll call this bandwork. Call doc international likes, $10 a day as the client requested. So, alright, I've got the health angle. Now I need to put something related to the page up here and then go for the pictures. Whoa, I almost backed off the page there. What the last thing you want to do is accidentally leave a page like this, because there goes your time and energy you just spent doing that. So something like being healthy. Learn how you can reach a doctor anytime online. And then I can even put like to learn and then a question mark. So if someone sees this, it's an easy thing to say, like being healthy, and then you look down, it says like to learn how you can reach a doctor anytime online. And then now what I need are images to go along with that. So I don't want the portrait ones. They don't look good in the ads. So I want landscape. And now here's the thing. I'm no expert on media and ad images, but I know if I pick a lot of images, then I'm bound to pick one that works good. Often for a global audience, more generic images tend to work well, because there's people of a lot of different backgrounds and such, and more generic images that they can identify with tend to work better than using more like specific images with people in them. So like this heart image, I would think has a better shot of working well. I'll just try a bunch of different doctor images and see. I'll put all of those up there and see if they work well. So right now I'm looking to get 20 or so different images and just roll through until I can get even things like that. It might not, it's a house, but it might not look exactly like you'd expect, but the strength of this approach is I don't have to be right all the time. I just need to have a couple images that work good. And while this is loading, I can go download all these other files that I've selected already. I don't want the vector. You need a high JPEG image with it, and that looks the best on Facebook too. And so while I'm downloading these, once I've got them downloaded, then I put upload image, and then I go here and I upload both of these. And then you can get a preview of the ad. Now this is how the ad will come up. Like being healthy, like to learn how you can reach a doctor anytime online, then this gives people a good shot of liking the page. And now I've got a few more images downloaded. I can upload the rest of these. So that's 6 I've got already. So I can close these windows. And now I find more. And like out of the box images like this sometimes work great too. That's why I go for them. So this takes a bit, so I just keep scrolling through, looking through images, and funny images often work great too, so I'll grab that one of the dog. They're over here. Now all these images are uploaded. Well, I'll download these right now, and then I'll get the, I'll download all these. I already downloaded those two. Whoa. Skipping ahead here. Well, I'm back over here. Now this ads unit's done. I can only put 6 images on at a time. So here's what all the ads look like. So this is complete. You can see all the countries I'm targeting. And now the one thing I need to add is English, because we want English. So you see that took off 9 million people in the audience. But now I also know I've got everyone speaking English. So I hit place order right now. And now here's how I easily make some more of these. Now I take off all those old images and I go back through here. So I go from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I start with 7, go up to 9, go over to 12, and now I've got 6 more images I'm uploading. And I'll upload these images, and then I'll make more, because I want to have as many images as possible. You see how different some of these ads look? I mean, these ads with these images look a lot different. And then I'll show you in the Power Editor how I can change up the text and make the text different easily too. So I'm going to place order again, and I'm going to create similar ad. Take all those off. These are all downloaded now. So if I refresh at F5 to refresh my ad campaigns up here, I can see there's my new ad campaigns. And now I only have one more image, so I need to go grab some more images from PhotoSpin. And I don't know what ambulances look like in other countries, so I already used an ambulance in another country. And that means I don't want to keep using too many of those. And I try and stay away from negative things like that. Like, really? I don't want a kid like all bandaged up and stuff. And I'll try that one. And I figure if, an image immediately stands out to me, that catches my eye, then it might catch other people's eye too. Like that. That makes me laugh a little bit. So, teddy bear with a shot in the arm. So, I'll grab that one. Yeah, about that one. So you can see this takes a while. Now, I'll show you how to speed through doing multiple of these campaigns. That's too much. I gotta do the dog there. See, I don't really need a vet, though. This is why it's nice to have stock images, too. You can see how many of these images I'm rolling through quickly. Yeah, I'll try this one. Alright, now I've got a few more. I'll go ahead and download these ones I've got. Yeah, that's a funny one. Alright, I think I've probably got enough now. I'm going to stick with these ones I've got, go back to my ad window and upload them. I remembered that the last one I did was this dog one. So we'll get those next 6 of them. Thank you, Evernote. So this is 18 images I've got already. So with this next group, I'll be over 20. You see the significant difference all of these ads have when you look at them. I'm going to create similar ad again and get the last few images that I haven't included yet. Well, I think it's just these two. Go. So I scroll down there. And now that I've made all those, I'll hit continue so I can see the entire ad campaign. So now I can see the whole ad campaign here. So far there's 20 ads in it. They're all geared for page likes internationally. So once I have these ads, then now I can go into the right click and new tab the Power Editor. Hopefully it won't take too long here. I remember that's my ad account number, I think 1377. 1377. Alright, I download that. Thankfully, Facebook's fixed a lot of the Power Editor errors, which helps this go a lot faster. And I swear they make new changes to it every day. So now I have this CallDoc International campaign. Thank you, Facebook. So I have these headlines. So what I do now, copy, paste all these headlines. Wow, they've made huge changes to this lately. So instead of like being healthy, on this one I'll say love being healthy. And then we'll do the same thing over. Copy and paste this one more time. Now I've got another new ad campaign here. I'll just say like health. And then copy, paste. One more headline. And we'll make it love good health. And now I'll try a different body text too. So that's 80 ads. Now I'm going to be up to 160 in this campaign. Hopefully I won't hit my max for this account all at once, but well, we'll find out together. Alright, then for this I just want to ask another question. Here, learn how you can get health care from a doctor online for a low cost. There. So now that's a little different than another text, and now I hit upload changes. And now here's where the fun starts. Wow, I don't even want to come. There we go. Always the errors. I submitted the feedback to Facebook on the Power Editor. Some people hate, surveys. But man, give me a Facebook Power Editor survey to take. Oh yeah, I'm right there on that. There, this campaign's done. Now that's 1 out of 4 campaigns. Now, I already have the skeleton of a campaign I can probably use in the US for the same objective. So now we go back to CallDoc International likes, duplicate that, and now I want to switch this to CallDoc US likes. And I don't see why I can't do the exact same pictures on the ad campaign I did before. What I do want to switch are some of the text up on it. So first I'm going to switch the audience up. I need to put just the US in the targeting. So now the audience is going to be a lot smaller. 36 million people, and I need to check my placements on it too. Because in the US I do want ads to show in all of Facebook, including the news feed. But the problem is I don't want the pictures to look ugly from the... I don't want the pictures to look ugly on the news feed, and I don't want to get a bunch of crap clicks on the news feed for a high cost. So I'm going to just do right-hand column on these because I figure my desktop user is also more likely to convert to a sale on this. So we're going to stay away from the newsfeed ads on these likes. But that's tricky though, I just want likes. And I have conversion tracking set up also, so I actually want to do this on I do want to do this on the international ads too. I want to enable conversion tracking just in case any of them convert. I'll upload the changes in this ad campaign. So that just uploaded the one campaign. Now I go back over here. This is my US campaign. So I've got it into just the US, but I might want to do a different group in the US. I don't see why I can't use the same headlines, and I think what I need to change is the body text on these US ads. So I sorted, I'm pointing with my finger, I sorted all these on the body text right here. So now all my body text ads are selected regardless of title or anything else. So now I go down here, and since you don't want to say anywhere in the world, in the US I want to put learn how you can have access 24/7 to a doctor online or on your phone for only for under $20 a month. There, so that's a more of a US specific body text. And I've targeted the same thing. Or I've done a similar thing with a text here. So now I have all these ads set up again. I'm going to upload this new ad campaign which targets the US. Now I go to look in the ad campaign account manager, facebook.com/ad/manage. Now I've got the US likes campaign and an international likes campaign. So this is the US one, and you can see here's what the ad looks like. Like health. See, and the headline's kind of unimportant in this setup on it. So it's mainly this body text that they're focusing on now. You can see there's so many different picture combinations, text combinations on all these. And the same for the international one, except the international one's targeted to a much bigger audience. I mean, like that's just funny, you know? It might work, it might not. We'll find out. Okay, so those are the two likes campaigns. The goals for both of those are to get Facebook likes. So they're both geared to get a very specific objective accomplished. So the idea now is I want to get web traffic. So I'm going to close both of those and make separate campaigns from scratch for web traffic. So I'm going to go back to the ads manager. I'm going to click create an ad. And this time I want web conversions. And I'll start with the call.com. And the pixel status is active. So that's what I want to happen when people get to the website. So these are website conversions. Now I can use the same images. And I can choose a Facebook page to allow newsfeed ads to go in too. So what I do, I actually can use Browse Library this time to use images I've already got. So that's a little bit easier. So I'll just select those images. And now in order to get the ads to look good in the news feed, I want to reposition each of these ads individually to look a little better in the news feed. And I mean, you know, if some of these are funny, that's the idea. If some of them people think they're stupid, well, that's fine. You know, you can't please everyone. I'm just trying to get the people's attention of the people that are going to go sign up to this to be happy. So now, since we're going for conversions, I probably want people that are at least 18 so they can sign up. The question is now, who do I target for this audience? So I want people that are active online. And I want people that are likely to value some kind of service online. So this gets a little tricky. This is going to be a different, maybe out-of-the-box targeting with it. So what I need to know are what other kind of like trendy health groups are out there. What I could do is, since the data from the client shows it's more likely to be college grad who already does stuff online, I can select college grad to greatly narrow my audience. On top of my audience, I'm probably going to want a little bit older. People that are starting to think more about their health, that are off their parents' health insurance. And I want more people that are active online, that get other goods and services online already. So this is where a little creativity can help a lot. What kind of person already gets a lot of services online? I'm thinking gamers. I think gamers already get a lot of services online. But what kind of things can I do to reach out to gamers? See, I'm trying to think through of what I can put for the ad text too. Since these are only on desktop, I only have certain potential. They're not going to be in the... Well, these will be in the news feed too, actually. But I'll probably place them... Yeah, I'll put them everywhere. There, and then a newsfeed link description. See, now that's no fun. Now I take... There. Alright, now I've made a clear, convincing news link description. Since I'm trying to refine my targeting more, I'll go back to what I want to say to people, and then I can figure out who I should say that to. I'm reading some testimonials to get an idea. I'm reading all what these people put on here. I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the key selling point. Well, the key selling point to me is on the home page. The key selling point was on the home page. So healthcare made easy. And here, now I just thought of an out-of-the-box targeting thing on it too. Let's do Barack Obama, because I figure people that are interested in Barack Obama probably are going to have a higher interest in some kind of healthcare, or at least be maybe more interested in seeing some kind of healthcare. And even if they don't like Obamacare, it's kind of an out-of-the-box targeting. But what I don't know is if that'll work best to get people that actually want to sign up for the service. And if there's going to be a lot of competition on it. So I might have to rethink that one. But I've got my creative line, healthcare made easy. And then there, 4 out of 5 office visits could be, I like the data. There. Talk to a doctor 24/7 online and skip the visit to the doctor's office for under $20 per month. There. Now I've got my... Now who needs healthcare made easy? That's what's tricky. Who needs a simpler healthcare solution? I'm thinking more about... I'm thinking people who already order things online. But how do I know they order things online? I'm thinking the kind of person that's willing to order shoes online might be interested in healthcare online. So that's a real, and you're, alright, if you're watching this video, out of all the things I've done, you probably just sat there and like, alright, how the hell did you come up with I should target Zappos for healthcare? Like, well, it's the kind of person who already is comfortable doing things online that most people don't do online. Ordering shoes online is one of those things. Zappos, I just happen to know, is the top one for ordering shoes online. And it's much more specific than, say, someone that orders from Amazon. Now, this term might be get a bunch of competition around Christmas time, but I'm making the ad that's going to run for the long term. So this is Banwork call doc conversions, well, web traffic US. So that's Banwork web traffic US. You can see I got the conversions set up connected to the Facebook page. It's coming from the Facebook page, and when you click on it, it takes you to the website. And it looks good over here too, in the right-hand column. Same thing. So what we do now, click place order. And then I make more ads with the different pictures just like I did before. And so I just browse library, and I went like what? I don't even know which ones I just used. I can go backwards, and that'll simplify it, won't it? There. See, I went from targeting Obama to Zappos. That's, if you want me to make an ad campaign for you, that's one thing you can get that I guess is hard to replicate. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll go through here. And then I can figure I didn't use those two earlier. Well, how the hell did you learn how to do this, you might ask? Well, damn it. I have a lot of free time on my hands. I was trying to promote myself, and I learned how to do this in trying to promote myself. Now I mostly promote other people. Alright, so I made those ads. Now I can click continue, and here's the ad campaign. I got 40 results because Facebook went and made newsfeed ads and right column ads. What I can do again is go to the Power Editor, download all the ads, and copy those ones I made. So I download the Power Editor again, and I mean, I'm critical of Facebook sometimes, but I'm very thankful they keep making so many positive changes to the Power Editor. It saves me from having to pay another company a lot of money every month to do the same thing. So I'm looking for active campaigns, Bandwork CallDoc, US web traffic. Now, as usual, Facebook makes things a little complicated in that I can't edit all of the ads in the Power Editor. And if I can figure out which one, if I can sort these, maybe I can do all of one type of ad at once. So I want to copy and do additional text versions of the same ad. There, it looks like I can do them together, but if you notice, I can't mix the newsfeed and the right column ads together. So I can copy and paste the newsfeed ads and do a different version of the newsfeed ad, but then I can't do a different version of the right column ad. So as you can see in this, it's not really worth it with 40 ads in the campaign already to even go through and do that again. But duplicate web traffic US 2, and I can now, since I want to try something else, I can have the best of both worlds. I want to try my Obama campaign. Well, I can try my Obama campaign. There you go. I can do both of them in the same campaign. I can see how that stacks up against anything else. So then I can upload this new ad campaign for Obama. Upload again. Alright, now here's a workaround. You can see some of the ads clearly didn't upload. So what I can do is just modify the age slightly and upload it again, and it'll work around that little error I had. And you can see the sheer amount of time I've put into figuring out these little problem-solving solutions. So now the client asked for $10 a day for web traffic. So what I need to do now is switch. I need to switch these to 2 $5 a day campaigns to meet his original goals. And what I can do is, with running these over a longer period of time, we can see which one of these converts the best. So now I can make a global ad campaign doing the same thing. I duplicate this web traffic, and this is a global one I want. And now I go into the ads on the global one, and instead of the US or Barack Obama, I'm going to target a little more general. I'm going to target Amazon, because that's more general for worldwide. Now what I need to do is pair up my wealth list. So now I'm going to target other countries where I know there's established wealth in the country. And I need to make sure I've got English targeted on these. So now I'm going in and putting countries like Canada, Australia, where I know the wealth is at such a point where they can afford to pay $19 a month for something like this. And the idea is I'm making all of these campaigns, and if any one of them work well to get a positive ROI for the client, then they're going to be really happy. And they can just increase the budget on that one campaign then. And I'm using this off a pre-made list I've already researched. So that's, if you have me make a campaign, that's one of the advantages. I've got little resources like this. And I took the time one day to figure out which countries have a comparable per capita income to the US and have a significant English-speaking portion of the population in there. So now I have all these I can use on demand. I just have to pull my list up. Okay, so now I've got a global campaign. I can even throw, say, maybe Japan in. I probably don't want the United, well, I'll put the United Kingdom in right now because I don't know. But the client will easily be able to see if they're getting conversions from somewhere. The client will easily be able to see that. Right, so I've got, I'll do Qatar. There, I've got a nice list of international campaigns. Now I'll upload that. That's done. Now I go back here, refresh, and now I gotta switch this to a $10 a day campaign. Now I'll take a look in the actual campaign itself. You can see this is a 1.5 million. Even though I'm targeting Amazon, you can see the audience is a lot smaller, but Amazon's a US company, so you can figure the kind of person that likes Amazon on Facebook is probably going to have a better chance of wanting to order from CallDoc, than say the average person globally. So now these campaigns are made for conversions, these are made for page likes. So now the client ordered 4 campaigns, I've given them 5. And I split the US web traffic because that hopefully will give the best chance of success in this ad campaign. So the setup on these is done. So you can see the hours I put in the researching, the system I've got, the setup. Now these ad campaigns are done for the client. What I'm going to do in the coming days is analyze how they're running, and then I can make changes based on what I see. What will really help is if I can get a conversion or two and see where the conversions are coming in from. So you can see these are done, and now I'm going to go through and do one more ad campaign for a different client to give some additional perspective on what you can do. you can see this is finished, so we're going to go through here. I don't know what these errors are. I'm gonna make sure there's 40 ads. There's 40 ads in there, so I'm gonna close that. All right, that was an incognito window. I closed the whole thing. So now I'm gonna need to sign into PhotoSpin again in order to do this client's ads. All right, so I'm signed in here. So the next ad campaign I have is for a client that wants to expand his recipe page. And you can see I already made this ad campaign for him back in August. So now he wants a new ad campaign. You can see he's getting 30 cents per page like for an audience in the US that likes his recipes. What he needs now is an ad campaign to expand on that globally. So you can see this ad campaign's ran well for him. If I reset the zoom, you can see better. I think you can see better. So here's his page, recipetipster.com. A huge page, 382,000 people on it. It's for recipes. And what I can do is, I'll take you to his page real quick. So I already know his page. I've already made campaigns for his page. So you can see if you like recipes and food and do it yourself, I definitely visit recipetipster.com and take a look. There's delicious recipes all over, and there's just tons of pictures to use. So I may not even need PhotoSpin for this. But what I'm going to do, look, I already made this ad campaign for him, right? And it looks like I've used a ton of pictures from all of his different recipes. So I don't see why I wouldn't, if I did it right before, I figure I can only screw it up by doing it different. And so you can see all these images here. I can easily use more of these images in more ads. So I've got more ads. There, now I want a new audience because this audience is using a partner category. So I want to take the partner category out. So I want recipe. There, I'll put recipe and cooking. Now that's too big, so I'll just do recipe. And so I'll put like the best recipes on here. So I know I've got a hashtag targeted that's solid. I want to take women. And based on the client's feedback, if I look at my feedback, he emailed me. He says that women 18 to 44 seem to be his most engaged audience. So we're going to set this to women 18 to 44. Now he wants the biggest audience from his bottom line, and this is why it's important to look at the bottom line in terms of your own ads or your client's ads. His bottom line is getting people to his website to get AdSense income. So that means he needs people from countries that are going to be worthwhile on AdSense. And I'm going to create a new Bandwork recipe tipster.com global. And now I don't happen to remember. I need to look and see if he wants a direct to web or not. Alright, so he wants to get the cost per click as low as possible, and he wants more likes. Okay, perfect. Alright, so I'll put his campaign at $10 a day to start. Scroll up here. So now I'm going to use that same country list I had before. I want to use that same country list I already had. So I'm going to put the same countries I've put already, these ones to start in. but I'm going to add more countries that I know are good on AdSense traffic. And this is from the same list I used before. So this will help him build up a little bit bigger following. And the more countries you add around the world, it gives the opportunity for the ads to run at all times a day too. And that helps because then Facebook will give you a discount. It gives you a better chance to get in the best opportunity places. I already put Switzerland in here? Yes, I did. I sure don't want to target Switzerland, Florida, or South Carolina. Finland. Okay, it looks like Luxembourg. Spain. Puerto Rico. Alright, I've got a good solid worldwide audience here. It's not that much bigger than the original US audience, but it will have, it's targeted different, so the clicks should be cheaper. There, so now I gotta go in and reposition some of these images too. So they look good in the newsfeed. You can tell what that is. Okay. And I don't like the sponsored stories because Facebook puts it in there already. But I'll give it a try for this page. I don't often use it, but I think my feeling is it should work better for this page. Alright, so I'm creating similar ad now and I want a bunch of different images. Because this, I mean, it's a recipe page. You know, I want all kinds of pages. I need one more image here. Because the easiest way to be certain I get something someone likes is to put a bunch of different recipe pages on there. Or different foods shown on here. Well, I'm going to download a bunch more photos from his page too. So I've got most of the good photos. Now I'm going to go to his page and download the photos he's posted. So I'm going to just roll through and save a bunch of these images. Whoops, not that. Now he's posting all these on his page, so I'm going on a little bit of faith that he's handled the copywriting issues for that. But the thing is, the same things that apply to ads apply to posting on your page. The difference is the ads are getting shown a lot to everyone. And especially if you're using something from, say that a competitor created, that's where you run the risk of having a problem. But I mean, in the food area, I wouldn't think that's likely. And I'm, taking a leap of faith that he's got all the copyright stuff handled. So I think that's reasonable in this situation. There we go. So I'm going to pull as many images as I can. We'll just use all these images to make the ads. I probably ought to target desserts. With all these desserts in here. These little pizzas, that's cool. I don't even know what that is, so what? And no one else is gonna know what it is either. Well, that's not quite true, but you know what I'm saying. Alright, I figure I got enough images now. That's a lot. So we're going to upload all these backwards. So 3, 6. There we go. I'll have to reposition these in the news feed. I love these little pizzas in the news feed. There we go. Now we're going to keep creating similar. We're going to do lots more. So I start from 3, 6. Now I go from here 9 to 12. And it's absolutely critical to do this with the doing many images if you want to get a low-cost ad campaign. Oh, this burger won't all fit in the news feed. It's so big. These cookies will, though. You know, for someone that wants lunch right now, doing a recipe tipster Facebook page probably wasn't the best idea. But if every idea I had would be good, if every idea I had was good, the world would be a whole different place. What is that? Good Lord. Alright, so you can see I'm just knocking all these images out, and then that'll be about it. So yeah, I'll have one more of these with the images, and then that'll be another campaign created for another client. And a video created for you that I hope is helpful. I've made this video because a lot of people that have watched my other videos have asked, well, can you make some can you make some that are more detailed in terms of, all right, well, you've shown me the overview of what to do, you know, now how do I actually do it? So a lot of my videos give more of an overview of how to get low-cost clicks, 1-cent clicks, etc. Or how to just make an ad campaign generally that gets a good low-cost click out of a target audience. So this video is just for that purpose. This shows you how to do exactly that. So I'll put these last 3 images on, and then his new ad campaign will be done. And hopefully you get him a low cost per click. And I could even throw him a little bonus in and see if I could figure out maybe copy this campaign into a new audience. So that's what I will do. He paid for 2 ad campaigns. Or he paid for 1 ad campaign. So I'll throw in another ad campaign and see if I can I'll go to the Power Editor. I'll copy his campaign. I'll copy his campaign and see if I can make another one with a different audience to kind of hedge my bets. That way, if I'm wrong about my audience having been a good choice, and I'm just double checking my numbers to download the right Power Editor account right now. Oh, and I've still got the old version of the Power Editor Facebook. I want the new one. I want the new one, gosh darn it. That other version looked great. I love that other version, the look that. I wonder if I can refresh my plugin somehow. I got the other version by doing an incognito browser window though. This is the old version you can see with the downloading, etc. here. Alright, so I want the Bandwork Recipe Tipster Global. And I already made a max likes one for him before. You can see I got 6,000 likes on his page at 2 cents a like for only $109. He's only got 600 for 184, but he prefers the audience that's good for the AdSense revenue. So what we're going to do is duplicate this and then try out a different tag. And I bet the sponsored stories, well, I might be able to do the audience at least good. So we're going to try now. What I need to know is what else people talk about. Alright, if you're talking about recipes, who else might be interested? I mean, cooking is certainly one. But you see, the cooking's a huge audience. I might do a dessert one, too. Look, all these. And this campaign is loaded with errors. So let's see if we can at least figure out what the error is. I need to put in a campaign budget. There we go. $5 a day, and that should work. Hopefully. Wow. And this is some of the things I submit in the feedback to the Power Editor. Because, I mean, there's no obvious problem here. Let's see what this error says. Missing parameter. So this must be... I mean, what a disaster. Like, it's just a total disaster, Facebook. So now when you get a total, whatever you want to call it, insert your favorite cuss word here. I'm just going to download and start over again. What a disaster. So now, let's try this again. I'm going to duplicate. Go into the Global 2, go to the ads, and I bet it had something to do with the sponsored stories. So we're going to sort by ad name, wipe the sponsored stories out, and try this again. That doesn't mean it's going to work or I'm right, but we'll find out together. Okay. Cooking. Like Cookie Monster? My wife says I'm good at that impression. Alright, now that worked. So, again, how the hell would I have known that? Well, I've done a lot of these, so I kind of figured. But what kind of the cryptic error message? Like, how exactly was I going to get that out of that cryptic error message? There's no way. So this is the old campaign I made, which needs to be deleted. And so now I refresh. He's got a second ad, and I don't know if he specified a budget, but I'll start these both out at 5. So this is a global recipe, and I'm going to try a global dessert too, because you see how many desserts I posted, right? I got to try a dessert one too, just to see if that works. So I'm going to duplicate this one and call it Bandwork Global Dessert. And I hope that's not desert. See, if you have a, alright, so that's desert. How the hell do you spell dessert? So that's dessert. Alright, well, that's good to know. I wouldn't want to be targeting the desert when I meant dessert. Alright. It always helps to double check things in life. I don't mean micromanage though, but I mean just make sure you're not totally screwing it up. Alright, let's try uploading this one now. And he ordered 1 campaign, so he's going to get 3 out of this actually, so hopefully he'll be happy with that. That's not to say that's what I do for everyone every time, but this is a repeat client. I want him to be happy with what he's ordered for the 3rd time here, so we'll start him all off at $5 a day and see what happens. Now what he wants to do is get lower than 29 cents a page like, so hopefully we can do that with this campaign. So I didn't even have to use my photo spin. I did have to use Google. Anyhow, you can see that's how I just made 2 different ad campaigns. Now he's got, or 2 different clients, a total of 8 different ad campaigns. And the value is, usually if you look at ad campaigns people make on their own, they're usually just using less images, not using the power editor, and not using those creative targeting options I've shown you. So if you've listened to me talk this long, you're probably a bit winded, as I am from talking so much now. So I think this is sufficient to cover in one video on creating Facebook ad campaigns. If you thought this